Okay. Hello everyone. My name is Shafi. In last class, we have discussed about subnetting, what is subnetting and how many different methods available. We have done FLSM we have done with class C, two problems we have done and two problems I have given as an evening opportunities, B and C. So the IP address is 150.15.0.0/16 and the subnet mask is 255.255.0.0. That's and required 600 subnets. Okay. Now Wasim Haider. Now you tell me
Yes, sir.
that. Okay. So how many bits here for the host and how many bits for the network?
Sir, 16 bits for the host and 16 bits for the network.
Okay. So
Since it is a class B,
let me write it down. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Dot. We'll write it down. Okay, 16 bits I have taken here in this one. Now tell
n
me
value will be 10.
2 to the power of n greater than or equals to required subnets, right? So my required subnets is 600 here. Now what is the 2 to the power of n value?
N is 10.
So 2 to the power of 10 greater than or equals to 600. Now 2 to the power of 10 is how much?
That is
Hmm?
more than 600.
Yeah, how much?
Let me calculate.
You have already done, right?
Yeah, but I have not written that one. That is 1024.
1024. Okay, is greater than or equals to 600. Now what is the n value?
10.
10. So how many bits we have to borrow now?
You have to borrow uh, uh, 10, sir.
10 bits. From where we have to borrow the 10 bits?
From this, from the third octet 8 and from the fourth octet 2 bits.
So from the left hand side we have to borrow 1,
Yes, sir.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then 9, 10. So this we are borrowing for the network. So this goes automatically to the network here. Now tell me the subnet mask.
So since the default subnet mask will be 255.255.0.0,
Okay.
but here since we have borrowed from the third whole bits, so total it will be 255 in the third octet, and in the fourth octet it will be 128 plus 64, so it will be 192 for the
What will
last.
be the slash value here now?
Now it will be 26.
Okay, slash value is 26. Now tell me the subnet mask.
255.255.255.192.
So we got it this one. So by default 255 we have, but the third octet completely we are occupying. Okay, we have borrowed. So if you calculate all these bits, you'll get 255. In the fourth octet, we have borrowed only the 2 bits. So the 2 bits value is 192 here, this one. Okay, now tell me which is the first network.
First network will be from 0 to 63 in the last octet.
150.15.0.0 is the first network. Now, which is the second network?
It will be plus 64. 150.15.0.64.
150.15 dot. Okay. 0.64.
150.64.
Okay, next.
Next, 150.15.0.128.
128. What is the next network?
150.15.0.192.
92. Next.
150.15.0.224. 226.
Hmm?
256.
256. We don't have any 256. So we
will be
have
255.
255. Now, what is my next network? 255 will be the broadcast ID it comes.
Yes, sir.
Ah,
Next network will be 193.
193.
No, sir. No.
1.0. So once 255 get complete, that's it, right? Now the before to that, the octet, whatever the number is going we have, it's going to get increment. So the third octet we have the 0. Now it's going to be increment 1.0 here. Next 150.15.1.64, 1.128, 1.192. Next 2.0. This is how 2.64. So this one keep on is going to be get increment this one. So this is how totally you get 1024 networks, sub networks, but in that we require only the 600 subnets. Got it? You? Okay. The next we have class A. So class A IP address is 10, sorry, 10.0.0.0 and /8 we have. Yeah, you can give it both. Anything you can give. So 255.0.0.0 and the required subnet is 1300 required subnets here. So how many bits left for the host part here? Asimendra, did you got this one?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, how
So
many
here
networks?
it is 16 bits for the 24 bits for the host.
24 bits. So I'm going to take another 8 bits here. Okay. So totally 24 bits I have taken for the host here in this one. Now, so the formula is 2 to the power of n greater than or equals to required subnets. So 2 to the power of n greater than or equals 1300 is my required subnets. So what is the 2 to the power of value?
2 to the power 11.
11. Okay. Then it's 1300. So what is the n value? So 2 to the power of 11, how much you'll be getting?
2048.
2048. Okay. It's greater than 2300. What is the n value?
11.
11. Okay. How many bits we have to borrow?
11 bits.
11 bits we have to borrow. From where we have to borrow the 11 bits?
From the left hand side we'll start. So we'll borrow 8 bits from the second octet.
Okay.
3 bits from the third octet.
3 bits from the third octet. 8 plus 3, 11 here, this one. Now what is the subnet mask?
It is 10.0.0 and /19. 8 plus
19.
11. Yes, sir.
Okay, 19. What is the subnet mask?
Subnet mask will be 255.255 since we are getting all in the second, and in the third octet only 3 we are getting, so it is 128 plus 64 plus 32, it is 224 in the third octet. Dot 0.
Okay. See, the last octet we are not borrowing anything. It's a 0. But third octet we are borrowing only 3 bits. The value is 224 here. Okay. What is the first network? I'm going to write 10.0.0.0 is the first network. What is the second network?
So second network will be 10.0. And we'll add in the second network, since 5 bits we have left, so 2 to the power will be 5 will be 32, so we'll add 32 here.
Here 32.
Yes, sir.
Then
Here we will add all 255.
255. This is how. Is this correct? 10.0.32.255.
That will be no, that is the last bit. So here, so in the next it will be, sir, 1.0.
32.0.
Yeah,
See,
32.0.
why I have written 32 here in the third octet? Because changes happening in which octet? This is the second octet, this is the third octet. Changes happening in the third octet, right? We have to write it in that one. 10.0.64.0 is the next network. Next 10.0.96.0 is the next network. Next 10.0.128.0 network. This is how you have to do it, this one. Got it? All right. Good. Now we are going to do the VLSM. Okay. Now whatever we have done, it's a FLSM. Now we are going to do the VLSM here, this one. So first I'm going to take class C 192.168.10.0/24, and the default subnet mask is 255.255.255.0. See, what happened here in the FLSM, they give only the subnets, how many subnets they require. But in a VLSM, what happened, along with the subnets, also they define in each subnet how many IP address they require. Okay. So you'll be getting the requirement is like this one. Okay. One network or subnetwork with 10 IP address. Next, one network with 26 IP address. Okay. Next, two networks with 4 IP address. Okay. Two networks with the 4. I'll take it two networks with the 2 IP addresses. So this is how the requirement they have given. Now, so totally how many subnetworks we have? 4 subnetworks. Here is the one network. Second network. Here we have 2. 2 plus 2, totally 4 networks. Along with the 4 networks, also they are defining in each network how many IP address they require. So in the FLSM, what we have done, so they are not defining how many IP address they require. They're just giving the requirement, how many subnetworks they require here. Now in the VLSM, along with the networks, also they define in each network how many IP address they required here in this one. Okay, now I'm going to take, this is the class. Right? So this is the class C. This is the class C, and you know the value, right? 128, 64, 32, 16, 8, 4, 2, and value. This is how the values you have here. The every bit having its own value here. Now the formula here, now we had to find out not the network, we had to find out the IP address here. So in the FLSM, what we have done, we have, we found the networks, but here we had to find, no, here we had to concentrate on IP address here, this one, not on the networks here in this one. So the formula is 2 to the power of h, not n, 2 to the power of h greater than required IP address. Required IP address. This is the formula. See, always as per the formula, it should be greater than, not equal, not lesser than that one. Okay. So now let's do it for the first one here in this one. So 2 to the power of h greater than, what is the required IP address in the first network? 10 IP address here, this one. So what will be the 2 to the power of h value? So 2 to the
2
power
to the
of
power 4.
4 greater than 10. What will be the 2 to the power of 4? 16 is greater than 10. So what is the H value? 4. Okay, now we got it, the H value 4. Now we are doing what? VLSM. So how many bits left for the host part here? Which class IP address is this? Class C. How many bits left for the host part here? Only 8 bits
The
left for
4.
the host part here, this one. Now I have to borrow how many bits? 4 bits I have to borrow. From where I have to borrow these 4 bits? I have to borrow this 4 bit from the right hand side. If you remember, FLSM when we are doing, we had to borrow the bit from the left hand side. VLSM, we had to borrow the bits from the right hand side. Now I'm going to borrow 4 bits. 1, 2, 3, 4. This 4 bits goes for the host part. The remaining bits 4, automatically it goes for the network. Right? Now, I'm going to write it down here, this one. 192.168.10.0. Okay, that is my first network ID. 10.1 is the first valid IP address. Now, what is my last valid IP address and the broadcast IP address? And before to that, the slash value, how much? Slash value is 28. How we got it 28? By default, we have 24. 4 bits, we got it for the network. 24, 25, 26, 27, 28 here. Now, what will be the subnet mask here? 255 dot, 255 dot, 255 dot, what? What is the subnet mask? 240. 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224, 224, 224 plus 16, 240. Okay. So 255.255.255.240. Okay. Now what will be the last network ID and the broadcast ID? 16 is what? 15, then 14. So this is the network ID, this is the broadcast ID, this is the first valid IP address, this is the last valid IP address. So starting from 0 to 15 is how much? You are getting 16 IP address right in this one, but your requirement is only 10 here, this one. Got it? So that's how we can do it. Guys, are you following me online?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Next. So now the next one is 26 IP address. So 2 to the power of H greater than 26. Okay. Now what is the 2 to the power of H value? 5 greater than 26. 2 to the power of 5 is how much? 32 IP address greater than 26. What is the H value? H value is 5. H value is 5 here, this one. So now how many bits I have to borrow? 5 bits. From where I have to borrow? Right. Again, from here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now this 5 bits I'm borrowing for the host part. The remaining it goes for the network. So this is my first network. Now second network I'm going to write it down. 192.168.10.16. Right? After 15 is what? 16. That is my next network ID. 10.17. Now what is the this one? What is the broadcast ID and subnet mask? Okay, before to that, what will be the subnet mask? 27, 24 by default we have 25, 26, 27, and the subnet mask will be 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 224. 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224. So now what will be the broadcast ID and the last valid IP address? No. "47" is the broadcast ID. 46 is the last valid IP address. How I got it this? See, generally what happened, there is one trick here. After borrowing, what is the first bit you have in the network ID? 32. That will be your next network ID. But that you have to add to your previous network ID, right? So 32 plus 16 is how much? 48. 48. 48 will be my next network ID, right? So 10.48 is next here. So before that, 47. If you calculate from 16 to 47 is how much? So 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Then next 47 means 27 we have. 27 plus 5, 32. So how many IP address we are getting here? 32. My requirement is how much? 26. Got it? Guys, are you following online?
Yes, sir.
Are you getting or not?
Yes, sir.
What about you, Osama?
I have little doubt, sir.
Okay.
Can you come again once again?
Which one?
This one only. Same one.
The second one, say after 10, 15, 10.16 will be it will be get continue, right? And 17 is the first valid IP address. How I got it, the last valid IP address and the broadcast IP address. See, after borrowing here bits, see actually 5 bits I have borrowed. So this bit go for the network. When we are borrowing here, what is the first bit we have here? This one, 32, we have the first bit. This 32 you have to add to your network ID. What is the network ID here? 16. 16 plus 32 is 48. That will be your next network ID. Okay. Or else
Okay.
what you can do this one, you don't want to follow that one. So 5 bits you have to you have borrowed here. 5 bits value is how much? 16. 16 plus 8? 24. 24 plus 4?
28.
28. 28 plus 2?
30.
30. 30 plus 1?
31.
31 you add to 16. 31 plus 16 is how much? 31 plus 16 is how much?
47.
See, 47 is your broadcast ID. Before to
Yes.
that one, 46, this one. Maybe you get some confused because you just go through the last video, yesterday's class. So after that, you will be understand that.
Okay.
Okay. After that, still you have any doubts, let me know. So now I got it. Okay. Second one. Now I had to do it the third one here in this one. So the third one, 192.168.10.48, 10.49, 10.50, 10.51. I'm writing this one. Next 10.52, 10.53, 54 and 55. This is how I'll be getting this one. And subnet mask. Here I'm going to write the subnet mask. Subnet mask is how much? No. See, 2 to the power of h greater than 2 IP address. So 2 to the power of 2 you will be getting. Okay. 4 is greater than 2. H value is equal to how much? 2. 2 bits you have to borrow. So this 2 bits I am borrowing here, this one. When I'm borrowing these 2 bits, 30 you'll be getting the subnet mask. See, 24 we have. 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Yes or no? And the subnet mask will be 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot what? 252. If 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224 plus 16, 240, 248, 252. Got it? That's it here. 2 plus 1, 3. So host bit is 2 plus 1, 3. 48 plus 3, 51. Next 52. 52 plus 3, 55. This one. I have written twice here. Why? Because we require two networks here. So first network, second network, and here third network 2 times we have written. Why? Because two network with the same IP address we required. So this is how you have to do it, the VLSM. Now, what is the difference between the FLSM and VLSM? You just go open your book, go to the first problem in the FLSM. There, how many networks we have? First problem in the FLSM, how many networks? 4 subnets. Here also, how many subnets we have in the VLSM? 4 subnets. Say, if you do the same problem with the FLSM, you get each network total 64 IP addresses, right? But here, my requirement is only 10, 26, 2. If I do it with the FLSM, more wastage of IP address we get. Okay. In a FLSM, what happened? We have more wastage. In the VLSM also, we have the wastage, but very less when compared to the FLSM, this one. And VLSM is very famous method. You go anywhere in the production network, everywhere we use the VLSM, not the FLSM. Because in the FLSM, we have the more wastage of IP addresses. Got it? So just take down, after write it down this one. I'm changing here. Okay. You have to do it the same problem with a different IP address. So one network with the 40 IP address, then one network with two networks with 18 IP address and two networks with 2 IP address. First you take down. After that one, do it this one. Everyone, I'll come back. Okay. So the first is 2 to the power of h greater than 40 IP address. So 2 to the power of h is how much? 6. 40. So totally you get 64. 64 is greater than 40 here. So h value is 6. So how many bits we have to borrow? 6 bit we have to borrow. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 32. This goes for the host part, and this remaining goes for the host part here in this one. Okay, so now 192.160.10.0. So 64 will be the next. Why? Because after borrowing, the first value is how much? 64. That will be a next network ID. 63 the broadcast ID. 62 is the last valid IP address. This one. Now what will be the slash notation here? This one. So 26 slash 26. Okay, subnet mask 255.255.255.192. Because 24 by default we have 2 bits we are borrowing. This 2 bits. 26, 128 plus 64 is 192. We got it, this one. Okay. Next, 64 is the next network ID here. Next 10.65. Next 10 dot is how much? 94 is the 94. 95. Okay. So here slash is how much? 27. What is the subnet mask? 255 dot 255 dot 255 dot 224. Okay. Let's do it for the second one. The second one we have 2 to the power of h greater than 18 IP address. So what is the 2 to the power of 5 is greater than 18. So 32 is greater than 18. What is the h value? 5. So how many bits we have to borrow? 5 bits. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this bits I'm going, the remaining it goes for the network here. So by default 24 I'm having, 25, 26, 27. Yes, 27 we got it. So 128 plus 64, 192, 192 plus 32, 224. So 255, 255, 255, 224 here. Next, what is my next network ID? So 32 here we have. 32 plus 64? 96. 96 will be your next network ID here. So here what I had to do here, okay, 192.168.10 dot 96, next 10 dot 97, next 10 dot na. If you remember here, so I have given two here, two networks. I asked to find out the two network, TWO, sorry. Two networks here. That means, so here 96 plus 32 is how much? So 126 will be my last valid IP address and 10.127 is the broadcast ID. Now 192.168.10.128 will be next, right? See, and for this two, the subnet mask is same. Why? Because I require two networks here. Next 128, next 10.129, next 10.130, next 10.131. Then after 132, 133, 134, 135 here, this one. And here you are aware already about this one. Slash 30 you will be getting 255.255.255.250. 2 will be getting this one. This is how you have to be find out your all this one. Got it? Haidar, Muhammad Haidar, sorry, Wasim Haidar.
Yes, sir.
Osama, what about you? It's getting bounce?
Some doubts, sir, but tomorrow I'll ask
Okay.
because I'll refer the previous video for.
Yeah, sure. So next is 172.16.0.0 slash 16 255.255.0.0. Okay. One network with 550 IP addresses. Next, one network with 100 IP address. That's for class B, and class A 10.0.0.0/8 subnet mask 255.0.0.0 and required one network with 2000 IP address. Next, two networks with 700 IP address. So this is evening opportunity. Again, it's an homework. Class B is this one and class A is this one here, this one. Got it? So do it and we'll meet tomorrow at the same time. If you have any queries on this one, first we'll go into this, then we'll start the another new chapter, that's the OSI layers.